What's up, YouTube? This is the Atheist Chef. I have a question that I am sharing with Christians that are watching this video, and I would strongly encourage to have some replies, some comments. However, I would like to be involved with any theists that watch this. The question is, does the Bible really teach you how to be moral? And many of you will reply, yes, of course it does. I mean, look at its author. God is the omnipotent, benevolent, all-good being of the universe. Good is his nature. Everything he does is good, so of course anything he says or does is good. Well, that's all well and good and all. However, does the Bible actually teach you how to be moral? Or does it simply list off of do's and don'ts? Why does that matter, you may ask? It makes all the difference in the world. Let's run through a hypothetical here. Let's say we have a little boy named Johnny, and his parents tell him not to do something, and he obeys. Is it because that he weighed all of his options and determined that that option was the most moral of all of them? Or is it because his parents told him to not do something and he obeyed it? Can we look at little Johnny and say, look at how moral he's being? But let's add 12 or so years to him, and he's a little bit older now, and he has the Bible in front of him. It tells him not to do something. So let's say he follows the Bible. Can we look at him and say, oh, look at Johnny, he's doing what the Bible says. He's so moral. The fact is, if you're following a list of instructions of do's and don'ts, you're not being moral. You're not being immoral either. You're being amoral. In order to be moral, or be a moral agent, you actually have to weigh your options and determine which option works best. If you don't, and you're just following orders, then you're being amoral. You're blindly following the commands that someone has given you. And you know what other creature follows commands blindly? Dogs. Now, Christians, I'm not trying to call you a dog. I'm not trying to treat you like a dog. But your religion does. Your book does. And according to your book, your God does. Christians, if you believe that God created everything, then you have to admit that he gave us critical thinking, reasoning, and logic. They are the most important things that we use on a day-to-day basis. That being said, you have to ask yourself two questions. Why does the Bible not teach you how to be moral? It teaches you what the Bible thinks is moral and what God says is moral. But even many of the things that God said was moral, we don't perceive as moral. Such as owning a human as property, or treating women like second-class citizens. That doesn't seem moral to us. I don't know if it seems moral to you guys, but if there is some kind of disconnect between what the Bible says is moral and what you say is moral, then you need to start asking yourself some questions. And secondly, if we know that blind obedience does not lead to morality, then why does God endorse it so much? Surely an omniscient, benevolent, objectively moral being would know that people's blind following of his words would lead to the killing of millions of people, atheists, gays, and otherwise just non-Christian people. Surely he would have done something to fix that. And some of you may say, but look what Jesus taught. He taught about being kind and all that other stuff. Well, that's great. But sadly he wasn't the first person to do that. The golden rule, not established by Jesus. That stuff was around in times of Confucius and several other religions that existed before him. Anything that was moral, that was good, not new information. Nothing different than what was already out there. So, I'm sorry. The Bible has nothing much to show you how to be moral. For those of you that do believe that God is a moral being, then how do you know? How did you come across to that conclusion? Did you weigh that against your own morality? Or did God supernaturally implant it? If he did, then how do you know he's not lying to you? How do you know? How do you know he's not deceiving you into thinking that he's actually good? You don't have anything to weigh it against. All you have is a book that is telling you that he's good, that he's moral, but that's it. But if you look into that book, that's all it's telling you is that I am good, and to be like me, do exactly as I say, and you're good. But we know that's what makes you amoral, and it doesn't actually teach you how to be moral. We have a book that shows that all of the good ideas of what it is to be moral actually took from religions and people that existed beforehand. So Christians, how is he moral? And how do you know? Also, if God does come in and change your moral barometer, then why do I see many Christians with different morals and different moral systems? Can you sit there and say, oh, that person's not a true Christian? Because, I could probably go up to that Christian and ask them, assuming that y'all had a disagreement on morality, then they could probably say the same thing about you, that maybe you weren't a real Christian. I don't know. What am I missing, Christians? I don't know. That's it, folks. That's all I've really got on this. I may have missed a point or two, but I believe that's really just enough to defend my point. So Christians, please write down below in the comment section any arguments that you would like to say. You can post them down on the Reddit post that's on there. If you're watching this through the Reddit, please give me some feedback. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what I may have missed. I really just want to encourage some discussion. I do not mean to be a jerk or anything. I'm just laying out what's in my head. So please stay tuned. I'll be making some more videos with questions and things that you guys can respond to. I strongly believe that you need to have these discussions and debates to really address these issues. I want to leave this as an open kind of forum for these kind of things. So please, just keep watching. Please subscribe to my channel. And just enjoy these videos. Really think about what you've got going on. Really think about what it is that you believe. And I hope that I have challenged you or maybe affirmed your beliefs. I don't know. When you go and study these questions that I'm giving you and you go into your word and read and pray and do what you do, I may make your beliefs stronger. But you know what? As long as you actually went into research and looked further in, then I've done my part. So that's it. This is the Atheist Chef signing off. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night. And as always, guys, thanks for watching these videos. Please comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe to my channels. I would greatly appreciate it.